You ever get the feeling that when you're scrolling online, you're playing a game that's impossible to win? Well, spoiler alert, you are. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how that game is rigged against you right from the very start.
All right, let's just get right into it. This is the big one, isn't it? The question we've all asked ourselves, probably late at night, staring at our phones. You know logically that what you're seeing isn't the full picture. You're smart, but that knowledge doesn't seem to stop that sinking feeling. So, what gives? You know how it starts, so innocently. You're just gonna pop open Instagram for like just 2 minutes. Just a quick, harmless little scroll to see what's going on. And then you look up, and somehow 37 minutes have just completely vanished into thin air. But it's not just the time you've lost, is it? It's ugh, that heavy feeling you've suddenly picked up instead. All of a sudden, your whole life is up for review. Your career feels a little stagnant, your relationship doesn't seem quite as shiny, you might even be wondering if you should just pack it all up and move somewhere new. And it all comes down to this one awful thought. You suddenly feel like you're behind in life. And this is the part that is so frustrating. Your logical brain is screaming at you, right? This isn't real, it's curated, it's filtered, it's the one good photo they took out of 100. But it doesn't matter. The feeling still lands, and it lands hard. So, what is actually going on here? Well, it's because this isn't a battle of logic. You're trying to use reason against something way older and, frankly, way more powerful. This is all about your deep, ancient survival brain and its nonstop obsession with one single thing: status. Okay, so this right here is the critical disconnect. On the one hand, you have what you know logically. You see it's a curated highlight reel. You notice the professional lighting. You remind yourself it's just a snapshot in time. But your ancient brain, it's running a completely different program. It doesn't see a highlight reel. It sees they are a higher rank. It doesn't see professional lighting. It sees they have more resources. And just a snapshot in time, to your brain, that's a final verdict. We are falling behind. And look, this isn't a new flaw in our design. It's deeply, deeply wired into us. For our ancestors, it was a simple, brutal equation. High status meant you got more resources, better food, a safer place to sleep. And more resources directly led to a better chance of, well, survival. Your brain is still running that exact same ancient software. The only thing that's changed are the signals themselves. I mean, today, high status isn't about having the best spot by the fire. It's about those aesthetic apartments, those perfect bodies, those effortless soft life mornings, and of course, seeing all those 24-year-old founders who seem to have everything figured out already. So here's the most important part. Your brain isn't built to tell the difference between an ancient status signal and a modern digital one. It doesn't register the context. It doesn't hear you when you say it's a highlight reel. It just skips all of that and goes straight to that ancient, painful conclusion. We are behind. And this brings us to the whole point. The reason this feels so impossible to win is because it's not a fair fight. It is, by its very design, a rigged game. One that's built on completely unfair math. And here's that unfair math in action. You are taking someone else's absolute best, most curated, most filtered 3% of their life, and you're comparing it to your entire unedited 97% reality. You know, the messy room, the bad hair day, the moments of self-doubt, all of it. I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's such an absurd comparison. One is a raw, real moment of life, and the other is a piece of content that's been perfectly manufactured from maximum impact. So, of course you lose that game. Of course it makes you feel like you're falling short. You were never meant to win. The entire game was rigged against you from the very beginning. But here's the good news. Here's the shift. Once you see that the game is rigged, you don't have to play anymore. You can actually choose to stand up and walk away from the table. This is where we go from understanding the problem to finding the power in it. Okay, if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Just let this sink in for a second. Comparison is automatic. Shame is optional. Your brain is automatically going to compare. You can't really stop that initial instinct. But the shame, that feeling of being less than, that part is a choice. So let's reframe this whole thing. That instinct to compare is not a character flaw, it's not a weakness, it's not a sign that you're insecure. It is just wiring.
It's a primitive brain function that's always scanning for status, always checking for rank, and it does it without ever asking for your permission. It's as automatic as breathing. And just normalizing that, well, that's the first step to taking its power away.
So we'll leave you with this thought. The instinct to look at that post and measure yourself against it, that's probably going to happen. It's just wiring. But the feeling that comes next, the shame, the self-criticism, that part is not automatic. That part is optional. And so the real question is, what will you choose?